Hi friends, this is the second part of the NEET Biology 2026. The exam was cancelled because of paper leakage. So we are analyzing the paper. Already I have uploaded the first part of the video. Continuing with the second part of the video of the question paper, let us proceed with the question. Which of the following is not an example of convergent evolution? So not an example, that is incorrect example for convergent evolution. So forelimbs of whales and bats, flippers of forelimbs of whales and bats. So whales it is used for swimming, bats it is for flying. Flippers of, that is origin is same but function is different. Flippers of penguins and dolphins. Penguins are birds and dolphins are mammals. They are used for swimming. So eyes of octopuses and mammals, wings of butterflies and birds. So which of them are example, not an example of convergent evolution? So the answer would be forelimbs of whales and bats, because their origin is same but functions are different. So it exhibits divergent evolution. So the answer is forelimbs of whales and bats. Non-membrane bound cell organelles found in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells are ribosomes. Answer is ribosomes. So ribosomes in prokaryotes are of 70S type, eukaryotes they are of 80S type. You should be aware about that. Ecological pyramids represent the relationship between the organisms at different trophic levels, and they are generally inverted for. So inverted pyramid, ecological pyramid, for which we have, is it pyramid of number in grassland, pyramid of energy in pond ecosystem, pyramid of biomass in grassland, pyramid of biomass in sea. So pyramid of number in grassland, numbers, so pyramid of energy in a pond ecosystem. So here they have asked us to find the inverted pyramid. The answer is pyramid of biomass in sea. So they begin with planktons, phytoplanktons, then they proceed with biomass. So they are not talking about energy, biomass. So pyramid of biomass in sea is an example where the phytoplanktons are very less in biomass when compared to the secondary consumer or tertiary consumer. So that is the reason it's an pyramid of biomass in sea is inverted. Arrange the following events occurring in renin-angiotensin mechanism in the correct order. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. They have given the choices. So which is the correct sequence? Increase in blood pressure and glomerular filtration rate, reabsorption of sodium ion and water from distal parts of tubule due to aldosterone, fall in glomerular filtration rate, vasoconstriction by angiotensin 2 and release of aldosterone. Renins convert angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1 followed by angiotensin 2. So now here the correct sequence is going to be CEDBA, fall in glomerular filtration rate, which leads in rennet converting angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1 followed by angiotensin 2. Vasoconstriction by angiotensin 2 and it releases aldosterone. So CED. B is reabsorption of sodium ion and water from the distal parts of tubule due to aldosterone. So CEDB, and last option is increase in blood pressure and glomerular filtration rate. So this is what is happening in the renin-angiotensin mechanism. So the correct sequence is CEDBA. Choose the correct statement regarding population interaction between two species. In both parasitism and commensalism, only one species benefits and the other species is harmed. In both parasitism and commensalism, only one species benefits and the other species is harmed. So this is incorrect. Both species benefit in mutualism, that is correct. Both species benefit in commensalism, wrong. In parasitism, only one species benefits and the other is harmed, correct. So BD. In amensalism, one species is harmed and the other is unaffected. Okay, the answer is B, D, and E. So third option is correct. One species is harmed, the other is unaffected, that is minus and 0. B, D, and E are the correct options. In which animals do haploid cells divide mitotically to produce gametes? So mitotically to produce gametes. Male honeybees, they undergo mitosis. Male grasshoppers, male earthworms, male frogs. Male honeybees, they undergo mitosis to produce haploid gametes. So first one is a correct option. In human, respiration occurs in the following steps. Arrange these steps in the correct order. So what is the first step and last step would be cellular respiration. So the D part of it that you can remember. Diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between blood and tissues. Diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide across alveolar membrane. Pulmonary ventilation, by which atmospheric air is drawn in and carbon dioxide rich alveolar air is released out. So first option, then diffusion of oxygen, C, B, E, C, B, E, A, D. C, B, E, A, D. Third one is the correct option. So C is the first one, that is pulmonary ventilation. Then after this pulmonary ventilation, B, that is diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange. Once it happens through alveolar membrane, then it is carried, transport of gases by the blood, then diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between blood and tissue. Last one is cellular respiration, CBEAD. Third option is correct. The following reactions depict the activity of a particular class of enzyme. So what is that particular class of enzymes? Okay, so the CCXY plus C double bond, there is a formation of double bond. Okay, substrate, product, and product. Identify the enzyme class E from the following options. Is it isomerases, ligases, transferases, or lyases? The answer is fourth option, lyases. The next question is, match the following. Streptokinase. They are used for removal of clots from the blood vessel. A2. Statins, blood cholesterol lowering agent. B3. Lipases, detergent formulation. So A2, B3, C4. That option. So third option is the correct one, D1. So cyclosporine A is immunosuppressive agent. So fourth option is correct. Sorry, the third option, A2, B3, C4, D1. Third option it is. Which of the following equation depicts Pearl, Hull's Pearl logistic population growth? dN by dt equals Rn of k minus n by k. The first one is the correct answer. Arrange the following cell layers or structure around the female gamete from outer to inner side. So you have to arrange it in the inner side part of it. So D obviously would be at the last part of it. CABD. Corona radiata is the outer one. A is zona pellucida. CZ. So B is perivital in space, and D is plasma membrane of ovum. So CABD is a correct option. Which one of the following is an appropriate example of sexual decide? So Mediterranean Ophrys and the bumblebee. So second option. So the next one is tetany. It is wild contraction in muscle due to low calcium. So A3, and B arthritis, inflammation of joints. Myasthenia gravis It is autoimmune disorder affecting neuromuscular junction. So A, D is muscular dystrophy, progressive degeneration of skeletal muscles. So A3, B1, C2, D4. Second one is the correct answer. Select this is the correct answer. A3, tetany, wild contraction in muscle. Then B1 is arthritis, inflammation of joints. Myasthenia gravis is autoimmune disorder. Muscular dystrophy is progressive degeneration of skeletal muscles. Select the correct statement regarding cell membrane in eukaryotic cell. Membrane of human RBC has approximately 52% protein. Major phospholipids are arranged in a bilayer. Extension of the plasma membrane into the cell forms mesosomes. Tails towards the inner part of lipids are hydrophobic and thus protected from the aqueous medium. Glycocalyx is present on the outer surface of the plasma membrane. So it is cell wall. So the correct answers, choose the correct answers is membrane of human RBC has approximately, I think around 48% protein. So A wouldn't be correct. So the answer is A, B and D only. A membrane of human RBC has 52% protein. B, major phospholipids are arranged in a bilayer. D, tails towards the inner part, infoldings, not extensions. That is the reason C is wrong. Glycocalyx is present on the outer surface of cell wall, not plasma membrane. So A, B and D are the correct option. So choose the correct statement regarding cell organelles and their inclusions called. Choose the correct answers. The endomembrane system includes Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, and mitochondria. There is the lysosomes is missing there. So rough endoplasmic reticulum bears ribosomes on its surface. That is correct. B is correct. Both mitochondria and plastids have circular DNA. That is correct. B, C are correct. A network of microtubules, microfilaments, and intermediate filaments present in the cytoplasm is cytoskeleton. Mitochondrion is a single membrane bound structure. That is wrong. So seems to be B, C, and D only. Fourth option is correct. B, C, and D only. Reason A is wrong is lysosomes are not included. E is wrong because it is double membrane bound structure. The toxin proteins isolated from Bacillus thuringiensis, Cry1AC and Cry2AB. So Cry1AB, Cry1AC and Cry2AB. First one is correct one. Cry1AC and Cry2AB. So here the option they have given wrong, Cry1AC and Cry2AB. It should be. So fourth option would be correct one there. The JGA, juxtaglomerular apparatus, is special sensitive region formed by cellular modification in dash related to the same nephron. Juxtaglomerular JGA, cellular modification in proximal convoluted tubule and afferent renal arteriole, distal convoluted tubule and efferent renal arteriole. So the answer for this would be, it's a direct straightforward answer, distal convoluted tubule and afferent renal arteriole. That is what is the juxtaglomerular apparatus. They have DCT and ARA, afferent renal arteriole. Choose the correct statement regarding frog's anatomy. So we have to choose the correct answer from the options given below. So hepatic portal system is the special venous connection between liver and intestine. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves arising from the brain. It is wrong. It has only 10 pairs. Ureter and oviducts open separately into the cloaca in female frogs. Yes, that is correct. Hindbrain consists of cerebellum, medulla oblongata, and optic lobes. Sinus venosus joins the right atrium of heart. So the correct statement for this are So A, C and E. So let us see fourth option. Yes, fourth option is correct. So hindbrain does not consist of cerebellum, medulla oblongata and optic lobes. Optic lobes are not a part of hindbrain. Okay, that is the reason. Cerebellum, medulla oblongata, that would have been fine. So that is the reason it is wrong. B, I have already told you they have 10 pairs of cranial nerves. So that is the reason it is a wrong option. Cortisol, aldosterone, cholecystokinin, progesterone. They are the hormones they have given. What are its function? Cortisol is going to aldosterone stimulates reabsorption of sodium ion and water. So B3 is correct. A produces anti-inflammatory reactions. C, cholecystokinin stimulates secretion of pancreatic enzymes. C4, progesterone stimulates the formation of alveoli in mammary glands. So A 3, B B2, C4, D1. So fourth option is correct. Sorry, A2, so first option is correct. A2, B3, C4, D1. The sixth mutant codon of beta globin gene causing polymerization of hemoglobin and change in RBC shape. Mutant codon of beta globin. I think it would be GAG becomes, I think fourth is GUG. GAG becomes GUG. Yes. Male frogs can be distinguished from female frog due to the presence of bulging eyes, no vocal sacs, web digits in feet, or vocal sacs, copulatory pad on first digit of forelimbs. So B and D, third option is correct. The human protein named alpha-1 antitrypsin obtained from transgenic animal is used for the treatment of emphysema, smoker's lungs. Third one is correct. Nicotine, effective, so morphine, effective, so here these are the options. So nicotine is obtained from tobacco, morphine, heroin, cocaine. Cocaine is going to be D4. It will have to be, let us just check. A2, nicotine stimulates adrenal gland to release. Okay, morphine, B3, effective sedative and painkiller. C4, heroin, a depressant, slows down body function. Cocaine causes sense of euphoria and increased awareness. So A2, B3, C4, D1. The WBC count of a person's blood sample is 8,000 per cubic millimeter. How many eosinophils and lymphocytes would be in the same blood sample approximately? So how many eosinophils and lymphocytes would be in the same blood sample approximately? So we have to use that percentages that they have given to calculate it. So eosinophils are very less percentage. So it would be somewhere between 100 to 120. Let us see the option. 160 to 240 cubic millimeter and 1600 to 2000 cubic millimeter respectively. Eosinophils will be 160 to 240 cubic per millimeter of 8000 cubic millimeter of WBC, of the total WBC. 1600 to 2000 would be lymphocytes. So fourth option is correct. So you have to use the percentage that they have given in the textbook. It's like a numerical problem that they have given. So you have to use simple maths to calculate it. So here, about 65 million years ago, it's a good question. Very rarely they have asked this chronology of evolution of life forms. So 500 million years ago, it would have been very primitive. About 65 million years ago, so you could have seen. So this is again 500 million years ago, 350 million years ago, probably C C3 or C1. Anyway, the answer is A2. Uh, Dinosaurs 65 million years ago, the dinosaurs suddenly disappeared. B4, about 500 million years ago, uh, there has been invertebrates were formed. C1, about 350 million years ago, jawless fishes probably evolved. And D3, seaweeds and few plants probably uh, expanded. So D3, this is what is the arrangement of chronological of evolution of life forms. A2, B4, C1, D3. Progesterone, it's a oral contraceptive. Multi-load 375 hormone releasing. Uh, Progesterone Saheli is oral contraceptive. So progesterone is copper releasing IUD. Multi load 375 is hormone releasing IUD. Diaphragm is barrier made of rubber used by females. Saheli is oral contraceptive. D2. So A4. So second option is correct. Third option, okay. A3, hormone releasing IUD. I made a mistake there. So my B4, multi-load 375 is copper releasing IUD. Then diaphragm, that is barrier made of rubber used by females. Oral contraceptive is Saheli. So fourth option is correct. The following are the stages of life cycle of Plasmodium. Arrange the stages in the proper order. So the parasites reproduce asexually in RBCs, bursting the cells. The parasites reproduce asexually in liver cells, bursting the cells and releasing into blood. Gametophytes develop in RBCs. Sporocytes reach the liver through blood. Female mosquito injects sporocytes into human during bite. Okay. So the life cycle of Plasmodium. So we have to proceed with that. Female mosquito injects, that is E is first. So sporocytes reach the liver through the blood, ED. Uh, so ED, BAC. Third option, EDBAC is the correct. Female mosquito injects sporozoites into human beings. Sporozoites reach the liver. Then B is parasites reproduce in liver asexually and bursting the cells and releasing into blood. And the parasites reproduce asexually in RBCs, bursting the cells. And C is gametocytes develop in RBCs, EDBAC. So match the following. The fetus movement starts and hair appears. So it is nearly 24. No. 5 months is. So A2, it comes. Fetus develops into limbs and digits. 12 weeks. So let us see the correct option. A2, 20 weeks of pregnancy, because I remember it as 5 months. The fetus develops limbs and digits. B is 3, that is 8 weeks of pregnancy. C, the fetus develop external genital organ, that is 8. C is 4, 12 weeks of pregnancy. So D, one, the fetus body is covered with fine hair, 24 weeks of pregnancy. The flightless bird with forelimbs modified as paddle-like structures suited for swimming is known as aptenodytes, that is penguin. Select the incorrect statements from the following. Digestive system in platyhelminthes is incomplete. Bilateral symmetry is a characteristic feature. Incorrect statement. Platyhelminthes is incomplete. Flatworms, okay. Bilateral symmetry is a characteristic feature of adult echinoderms. It is wrong. It should be radial. So B is a wrong statement. Pseudocellum is present in Ascalmenthes, correct. Notochord is persistent throughout the life in class Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes is cartilaginous fish. So B is incorrect. Members of B and E. It is a cold-blooded animal, not a warm-blooded animal, reptilia. So B and E are incorrect statements. So second option is the answer. A group of researchers procured some fish-like animals, and upon investigation, the following characters were observed. Which of the following species of animals did they consider it to fit best with these characters? Endoskeleton was made up of cartilage. Ectoparasitic, as they were found attached on the, it seems to be like lamprey, attached on fish skin with their circular sucking mouth. Paired fins and scales were absent. So what are those? Petromyzon. Third answer is the correct one. Suckerfish. Okay. Choose the correct statements regarding muscle contraction. Motor neuron carries a signal by central nervous system to the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. Neural signal generates an action potential which causes increase in calcium ion, inactivates the active for breaking cross bridges. So here choose the correct answer from the following. So the correct answers are A, B, D and E only. C, increase in calcium ion inactivates the actin for breaking cross bridges. That is wrong. So increase in calcium ion does not inactivate. Rather it makes the bridges. So A, B, D and E only. They are all the correct options. C is incorrect. So choose the correct statement regarding gift gamete intrafallopian transfer to overcome infertility. So ova collected from a female donor are transferred into the uterus of an infertile female. Ova, gamete intrafallopian. Early embryos with up to 8 blastomeres are transported into the fallopian tube of an infertile female. Early embryos up to 8 blastomeres are transferred to the uterus of an infertile female. It is a transfer of an ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce ovum but can provide suitable environment. So mostly the answer seems to be the fourth one. Gamete intrafallopian transfer of an ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce ovum but can provide suitable environment for fertilization and development. Which of the following statements are correct with reference to human endoskeleton? Choose the correct answer from the options given below. Human skull is monocondylic. Wrong, it is. The joint between any two adjoining vertebrae is a cartilaginous joint. In human beings, the number of cervical vertebrae is 7. All ribs except the last two are bicephalic. The occipital bones of the skull is articulated with atlas vertebrae. So the correct answers here are, so A is wrong. So you can remember about that. So D, all ribs except, so the answer is B, C and E. So D, all ribs except the last two pairs are bicephalic is wrong. So B, C and E are correct. Remaining are incorrect answers. Human skull is bicondylar. All ribs except the last two pairs are bicephalic. That is wrong. B, C and E are correct answers. So spermatogonia undergoes a series of cell division to produce sperms. Select the correct statements from the following. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. So spermatogonia always undergo meiotic cell division. Primary spermatocytes divide mitotically to produce secondary spermatocytes. Secondary spermatocytes through their second meiotic division produce haploid spermatoids. So spermatids produce spermatozoa through mitosis. Spermatids transform into spermatozoa by spermiogenesis. So E is correct. Then A, C and E. The options C and E only. A is also wrong. So the spermatogonia always undergo meiotic cell division is wrong. They undergo mitotic. So C and E are correct one. Secondary spermatocytes through their second meiotic division, they produce haploid spermatids. Spermatids transform into spermatozoa by spermiogenesis. C and E are correct options. Select the incorrect statement with reference to Rh grouping. Erythroblastosis fetalis is a condition observed having fetus with Rh positive and mother with Rh positive blood. That is wrong. Rh antigen is observed on RBCs in the majority of human beings. Before blood transfusion, Rh group should also be matched. That is also correct. Choose the answers from them. Rh incompatibility is observed when a pregnant mother is Rh positive and the fetus is Rh negative. This is wrong. Erythroblastosis fetalis can be avoided by administering anti-Rh antibodies to the mother immediately after the delivery of the second child. Second delivery of the first child, it should be not second child. B and C. A and E only. Fetus with Rh positive blood and mother with Rh negative, it should be. Choose the answer. So here select the incorrect statements they have given. That is the reason A is incorrect. E is also incorrect because after first child it should be, not after second child. So A and E are incorrect. Remaining all of them are correct statement. Select the set of fishes which belong to the class Osteichthyes, bony fishes. So all of them should be bony fish. Dogfish is cartilaginous. Devilfish, they're all mollusca. Starfish here. Flying fish, angelfish and fighting fish, they're all bony fishes. Fourth option is correct. In a population of grasshopper species, the chromosome number of some members is 23 and some other members possess 24 chromosomes. The 23 and 24 chromosome bearing members in the species are females and males respectively, males and females respectively. Second option is correct. Evolution of human appears parallel to the progressive development of brain and language skills. As such, the evolution of individual species in the sequence of their appearances. So I always say it as draw hence. Ramopithecus, Homo habilis. So mostly the first option is the correct one. Brain development. It is RHENS. The specific receptor for neurotransmitter in a synapse are present on presynaptic uh, receptors are present on postsynaptic membrane. Second option. Expiratory reserve volume, RV residual volume, tidal volume. So tidal volume is 500 ml D2. So the answer for this would be A3. A expiratory reserve volume 300,000 to 1100 ml. Then B4 RV residual volume. B4 is 1100 to 1200 ml. Inspiratory reserve volume C is 2500 to 3000 ml. TV tidal volume is 500 ml D2. So first option is correct one. This completes our paper of it. So overall, when I analyze this paper, I find that the question paper was quite easy and not very difficult. Most of the questions were match the following, incorrect statements. Very few statement questions were there. So these are all the question paper pattern that I could analyze. So with this, we'll wind up with this second part of the discussion of the paper. Thank you.